Hey, what's up? It's Bobby, aka Paginator, and I am here today to share with you some books that I have read recently. First, I have to say I am sorry I haven't uploaded in a while, and it's just summertime and things are crazy and just, yeah. So anyway, I've been doing a lot of reading, and I'm not going to talk about all the books that I've read since my last books I've been reading lately video, simply because there's too many. And so what I've done is just grabbed a few. You can see a stack over here, and I've also got one in my hand. And I'm just going to briefly talk about some of these. And this one I'm showing you is on the screen of my iPad because I don't have it in paper copy. This is Waterfall by Lisa T. Bergren. And this is the first in a series called The River of Time. There are 5 books in this series, I believe, and you can get them all on Kindle lumped together for a really good price if you like to read on Kindle and this sounds interesting. So basically, Waterfall is the story of 2 sisters, the main character Gabby and her sister Leah, and their mom is an archaeologist who, digs around in the dirt for Etruscan historical artifacts. And the 2 sisters go into this tomb and they see handprints and they touch the handprints, and when they both touch the handprints at the same time, they are magically transported back in time, and they end up in the year 1342, I think, I believe that's right, in a little area of the countryside outside of Siena. And during this time in history in Italy, Siena and Florence were constantly battling each other, and they happen to land in a location where 2 families are constantly battling each other, and these 2 sisters actually are separated. And so we follow Gabby, and she meets up with a guy named Marcello, who is the second son of one of the lords of one of these castles, these 2 families that are always fighting together. And Marcello is not bad to look at least I don't know, he's fictional, but from the description, he's a good-looking Italian man and very gallant. And as you can imagine, Gabby and Marcello have feelings for each other, but Marcello's already engaged to someone else, and the someone else is kind of a witchy girl. But there's more going on than just the feels. We've got this fighting going on in these different groups. Plus, we're trying to find Leah, the younger sister. Who knows if they can get back through the time portal. So it's just an adventure, and there is a series. I have started to read the second one, which is called Cascade, and I'm currently in about chapter 4 of that one. So so far I'm not loving it as much as the first one, but it might turn out to be fantastic. I just need to give it a bit more time. All right, so I'm gonna grab this book. I actually listened to this on audio, and I have read it before, When Dimple Met Rishi, and it is by Sanjay Menon, and as I said, I listened to the audiobook, which has 2 narrators, and you can find the audiobook on Audible or from your local library. I always get my audiobooks through my local library and download them on our library app. This was a fun one to listen to because it's a cute contemporary story about kids that are just out of high school, and they go to this thing called InsomniaCon, which is for computer programmers. And so our main character, Dimple, really wants to work in programming, and Rishi is the boy that is supposed to be her future husband. Their families are scheming to get them together. He's not really all into that programming, but he kind of goes in an effort to meet Dimple and strike up a relationship with her. And I have to show you the back of the cover because this is depicting one of my favorite scenes from the book. The first time that Rishi meets Dimple, she has no idea what's going on as far as the setup in the relationship that's happening, and he walks up to her and says something along the lines of, "Hello, future wife," and she chucks her iced coffee in his face, which is just funny. He should not have approached her that way, but it is a very cute contemporary romance story, very fun. You can see I've got my labels on it here. I was going to put it in my classroom library, but then I remembered that there is some on-page sex in here, and so I didn't think that that would be okay for my little middle schoolers to read, so I'll just have to live with the fact that there's stickers on here now, but, it's okay. It's a book. All right. Next one in my stack is by the same author from Twinkle with Love. This book came in my Owl Crate in June, and it was so much fun. I literally read this on the beach, and it was a great beach read. It is another contemporary. This is about a girl who is 17, I believe, Twinkle, and she really wants to be a filmmaker. And the book is told through letters from Twinkle to her favorite female filmmakers, like Nora Ephron and many others. And she ends up working together on a movie project with this young man who is the twin brother of the boy that she's had a crush on forever. Neil is the guy that she's had the crush on, and then we have his brother, I have to remind myself, Sahil. And Sahil has always had a crush on Twinkle, and so he thinks, oh, this is perfect. I'm a film geek. She wants to make films. We'll make one together. And so he's the producer and she's going to be the director. And their relationship starts to develop. But meanwhile, a secret admirer is emailing her as well. So there's all kinds of relationship fun going on here. But it is a super fun read, as I said, and a good one for summertime or just whenever. You could read it at Halloween even, because the movie that they make is a spin on Dracula. Whatever. Read it. Alright, the next one also has stickers from my classroom library. This is going back to school because it is very appropriate for middle school. It's called My Oddest Year by Catherine Patterson, and it is a middle grade novel set in Cuba just after Castro's taken over the rebellion. Batista is gone and Castro is in, and he has said that he wants his country to be illiteracy free, meaning that everyone would be literate, know how to read and write. And so this actually happened. This is based on a real thing that happened. These young people who took a job for a year as brigadistas, which means that they would go out into the countryside and stay with a family and work with that family and maybe a couple neighboring families and teach them to read. And to this day, Cuba has one of the highest literacy rates because of the efforts. So regardless of how you feel about Fidel Castro, really cool literacy program. I'm just saying. All right, up next, we have Daughter 4254 by Leaf Statham. I got to meet her and get this signed quite a few months ago, and then it just kind of sat on my shelf for a while because I was reading other things, and I picked this up and I thought, oh, I really actually like this. It did remind me a little bit of Divergent because it's that same genre of kind of post-apocalyptic things, and we've got caste systems and lots of different stuff. In this situation, people don't have names. Our main character is named Daughter 4254, but she knows that something's different with her mom. Her mom, when they're in the bathroom, which is where the only place where there's not cameras, controlled by the government, her mom always hugs her and tells her how much she loves her. And that's just not tolerated outside of that because you're not supposed to have feelings. And in fact, Daughter 4254 is called neurodeficient because she has strong feelings. People who don't have strong feelings are considered much more advanced in society, and her brother is very much that way. After the passing of her mother, she really struggles. Her mother's left her a secret message that told her to apply for university, and she does, and it provides her with interesting opportunities, and she starts to open her eyes to see even more of what's going on. As in with all YA dystopian novels, we have a main character fighting against the corruption in society, and so you'll get to see what she does to kind of take on the man. And I tell you, this has to have another book in this because the end of it is like, what the crap? There is one of those moments where you're like, are you kidding me? And then it's just over. So if she doesn't have a sequel to this, I'm going to be very sad. I do have another book by her. It's part of the Perilous Journey series, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm much more excited to read it now because I have sampled her writing. Alright. This is For Darkness Shows the Stars by Diana Peter Friend. She also wrote that Rampant series with the killer unicorns that came out a few years ago. This is a retelling of Persuasion by Jane Austen, which we all know is my favorite book of all time. This is very futuristic, but also post-apocalyptic. And we have our main character, Elliot, who is the Anne Elliot character in this retelling. And she runs the family farm, plantation, land, whatever. But there are lots of workers and some of them are called reduced or posts. And reduced have very little vocabulary and are considered the lowest of the low, and then posts are the children of the reduced. Some children are being born being able to learn more and speak more and that kind of thing. And so the posts are kind of the second step up, and they're starting to gain more foothold in society. But the thing is that this society has way past ours in terms of the future. We apparently ruined everything with all of our technology and crap, and everything went to waste. And only the Luddites, who were anti-technology, that had hidden in caves, managed to come back. And so Elliot is from a Luddite family, and her father and older sister are jerks, which does follow the Persuasion characters pretty well, because we all know, well, if you don't know Persuasion, go read it. Seriously, go read it. But I'm going to assume you know about Persuasion, you know what a jerk Anne Elliot's father is in the book. Elliot's father in this book is also a big jerk. Now, the title says For Darkness Shows the Stars. In these underground caves, you go in, and if you wait a little bit, you might get to see the stars inside the cave. There's a secret that goes with those, and you find out fairly soon after you witness the stars coming out, but I don't feel like telling you every little detail. I will tell you that there is a romantic relationship in this, because it is a retelling of Persuasion that should be kind of understood. A young man who grew up on this farm and is a post. These two were best friends, and we see letters back and forth from them all throughout the book. But he wanted to leave, and she didn't want to go with him because she felt a responsibility to stay and take care of the land. And he comes back, and he's a captain, and he's wealthy, and he's got this higher status now, and what to do with the girl that he wasn't good enough for. So, For Darkness Shows the Stars. Yeah, I will quit rambling. All right, 2 more books, and then we'll call it good. I am really hoping that I'm going to have some unboxings here pretty soon, because if you have seen any of my more recent videos, you know that I went a little bit crazy as far as trying one-time boxes from lots of different subscription services. And so July is going to be the month. So pretty soon we're going to be seeing some unboxings here. And I hope I don't make you disgusted of unboxing. But anyway, 2 more books. Summer of Salt by Katrina Leno. This came in my bookish box, and I had heard some people talking about it that had gone to BEA BookCon, and I was, what's the word? I guess I was pleasantly surprised. I was very surprised by this book because it wasn't what I thought. Even based on the synopsis and everything, I was thinking, okay, I think I know what this book is going to be. But it just ended up different, I guess, because of the writing style and whatever. But we have 2 sisters who are twins, and they are in the long line of women who live on this island. And there's this bird that comes back every year for like 300 years, and they think that it might be one of their ancestors that turned into a bird. Our main character, and I would have to remind myself of her name, Georgina, she is supposed to be gaining some kind of magical powers by her 18th birthday, and her 18th birthday is almost there, and she has no idea what her powers are. Her twin sister can float, just levitate off the ground, has since birth, but she doesn't really know what her powers are. And so they run this inn where all these bird watchers come every summer to see this bird, and the bird hasn't shown up, and then something horrible happens, and these 2 sisters have to figure out how to deal with life. They've just graduated from high school. Georgina has a crush on one of the girls that's a new bird watcher. Yes, she is. We do have LGBT characters in this book, just so you're aware. And then her sister kind of has a crush on this girl's brother, and so there's relationship stuff in here as well. There's mystery, intrigue, plus there's something weird going on with Georgina's sister. And she's got to figure that out too. So, very interesting, very surprising. Another good summer read. Summer's in the title. But you don't have to read it in the summer because it's good mystery. Alright, last book. Now, some of you might be thinking, what the crap, this book's been out for quite a while. Tower of Dawn. I just finished this a couple days ago. Yesterday morning, I think. Holy crap. I just keep saying holy crap because I don't know what else to say. I don't know why I put off reading this. I think maybe because when I went to hear Sarah J. Maas speak when A Court of Mist and Fury came out, no, Court of Wings and Ruin. Court of Rings and Ruin. She talked about this book and how it was going to be kind of a, meanwhile, this is what Kale's doing kind of book. And I guess I thought that it wouldn't be as important to read in order to understand the next book, but holy crap, is it important to read. And I think I heard another booktuber talking about this. I don't remember if it was Chelsea Palmer or who. Anyway, I heard somebody talking about how important it is to know the story in here. Now, this is kind of a meanwhile book, and this is what Kale's doing, but we also have a lot of stuff happening here. Now, if you have read Empire of Storms, okay, that's what Aelin is doing. Now we need to know what Kale's doing, because Dorian has sent him off on a mission, and he brought Nezrin with him. Do you say it Nezrin or Nezrine? I don't know. I keep saying Nezrin in my head, just cuz. We have new characters in here. We have a healer named Irene. We have princes and princesses in this kingdom where Kale and Nezrin go. Antica is the city. It's in the southern continent, and it's actually where Nezrin is originally from, where her family is from, and so she gets to see people that look like her and speak her language, and that's really cool. Kale is incapacitated. I don't want to spoil things for you if you don't know what's going on with Kale, but he has some physical problems, and hence the need for a healer. And then we have Irene, who is the heir apparent to the healer on high and the the Tower of Healers in this city. And Irene is assigned to take care of Kale and help him recover, and stuff happens. I don't want to say more than this because these characters find out some more secrets and things that we didn't know and that we needed to know. And there's the political movements going on in terms of what Aelin's doing and gathering allies for Aelin and Dorian, and holy crap, there's a lot that goes on in this book, but major feels as well, and I don't even know what to say, which is why I keep saying holy crap. Yeah, if you have not read the Throne of Glass series, Aelin, that I have mentioned several times, is the same as Selena, same person, has many different names, in the first Throne of Glass novel. Now, the very last novel in the series, which is going to be called Kingdom of Ash, comes out this October, and I can't believe I have to wait till then to read it. But anyway, if you want to be ready for that book, you need to read a lot, because these books are big, and there's a lot of information and a lot of characters to keep track of, but it's so worth it. It's, yeah, I don't even know what to say. It's freaking amazing. That's what I'll say. Now, this brings me to the end of my video. As I mentioned before, I should have a few more videos coming soon with unboxings. Hopefully next week we'll get those ready to go, and I'm super excited to see what's coming in these boxes, and yeah. Anyway, if you've read any of these books that I've mentioned today and would like to comment on them, please feel free to do so in the space below. And if you have any book suggestions for me, please feel free to add them in the comments as well. I can't guarantee that I can get to everyone's suggestions just because my TBR is like, oh, forever long, but I will do my best. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful and bookish day. Happy reading. Adios.